שנמצאת בעזה באופן כזה שהוא לא...
Israeli land forces conduct a strategic siege campaign. Hamas strongholds are being taken one by one. Land operations in the northern Gaza Strip reached an all-time high. The Israeli army took action in this direction at the scheduled time. Merkava tanks and other armored vehicles were the first to invade the Beit Hanun region from the northeast. In support of Israeli ground forces arriving through Sharab and Al-Karama streets, an operation with Israeli tanks and soldiers was initiated. The 35th Parachute Unit launched an attack from the region's east. The Israeli army launched a significant siege of this Beit Hanun neighborhood from the east, north, and northwest. As a result, the soldiers in the region's east advanced around 3 kilometers. Israeli ground forces have advanced around 2 kilometers in the region's northern and northwest directions. Furthermore, they destroyed numerous Hamas militants and their locations encountered during this advance. Israeli soldiers went deeper into the neighborhood as part of the operation, revealing tunnels and terrorist positions. In reality, the Israeli army on Al-Karama Street discovered another Hamas tunnel near Al-Naim Street. A battle occurred with Hamas militants who were seen emerging from this point. With their weaponry, Israeli troops promptly neutralized these attackers. Israeli soldiers threw bombs at the tunnel infrastructure when the point leading to it became unprotected. As a result, the tunnel entrances in this section of the region were inoperable. The region was then reinforced with more Israeli forces. Additional soldiers arrived from the east, while units like the 84th Givati Brigade arrived from the northwest. As a result, it was stated that the Beit Hanun region had been besieged and taken control of. Israel appeared to have initiated an operation from the shore at the same time. In just a few weeks, Israeli elite soldiers had advanced roughly 450 meters from the Asyafa neighborhood via Al-Rashid Saint. This is the way to go. With several tanks, Israeli special forces advanced to the southwest of the Atatra region, and then further south and into the interior. As a result, while advancing in the Jabalia region, Israeli special forces discovered a Hamas stronghold. He immediately initiated a land operation in the region. Israel used armored vehicles and men to storm the castle, known as Hamas's 17th outpost, in the region's west. Troops advanced from Salah Khalaf Saint with tanks and raided this Hamas stronghold. Terrorists in the area were involved in a 10-hour struggle. The Israeli special forces then neutralized the terrorists who were guarding the Hamas castle and entered it. This fortress was taken, and significant Hamas documents were confiscated. Documents detailing numerous Hamas assault plans and maps were taken, leaving only what was required for the ground execution of this information. The remainder was communicated to the airmen and commanders. As a result, further procedures will be carried out in accordance with the acquired data. Tensions also flared in Gaza City, which is located west of the Jabalia district. The Israeli army conducted a reconnaissance mission in the area. This operation included listening in on terrorists' radio talks and photographing the area with drones. This information was then relayed to land and air units. Particularly noteworthy were the Hamas sites discovered in Gaza's Sheikh Radwan district, which revealed both the Hamas arms stockpile and the unmanned aerial vehicle production facility. Israeli units immediately issued an alert to launch airstrikes on these facilities. These 2 vital Hamas positions were targeted and destroyed in accordance with the images supplied to Israeli pilots. Military outposts that were engulfed in fire and smoke were rendered useless. As a result, Hamas terrorists' offensive and defensive capabilities were substantially diminished. Furthermore, Israeli soldiers are known to have infiltrated the heart of Gaza. The destruction of such weapons depots and manufacturing sites offers a significant offensive capability. The Israeli army limits the terrorist organization's power by demolishing such places with smart maneuvers. Terrorists are unable to respond to operations or defend themselves as a result. Clashes between Israeli ground forces continue, particularly in northern and central Gaza. Terrorists from Hamas are routinely neutralized by confrontations in the Al Zaytun region south. The Israeli army's current goal is to march to the south of the Gaza Strip. They intend to launch an offensive from such central and coastal areas. Another front will open to the south of the Gaza Strip from the direction of the al-Fukari region in order to enter the east of the Khan Yunis region. Thus, another siege against Khan Yunis might be arranged by attacking him from two angles. The operation's goal is to remove several Hamas terrorists and their positions in the region. Furthermore, if Hamas moves from coastal areas, tunnel outlets leading to these locations will be targeted. As a result, the opening of fresh fronts to the coast and east becomes a matter of time. Before we move on to another crucial goal of the Israeli army, we'd like to remind you that you can help. We devote hours of work to gathering the most accurate and up-to-date information for you using the Super Thank You button. We make every attempt to offer this information to you in the most effective manner possible. In exchange for our efforts, you can also give to us. I'd like to remind you that your encouragement is a vital source of motivation for us. Returning to our original issue, one of the primary objectives of Israeli soldiers is to provide a strong defense. It also keeps this defense robust in the north. Israeli forces moved back into southern Lebanon. First and foremost, intelligence reports and photographs gathered by drone operators revealed Hezbollah deployments in the territories. The Israeli artillery then launched an operation from the slopes of Devi Mountain. Israeli artillery shelled Farchuba and Halta. A terrorist organization, Hezbollah's headquarters in both regions, were targeted as part of this attack. These sites, which were targeted precisely, were consumed in flames and rendered useless. This circumstance demonstrates that Hezbollah terrorists in the regions have been neutralized, as terrorists typically plot attacks or have meetings at these locations. As a result, potential ideas are thwarted before they ever begin. Furthermore, Israel, particularly in recent days, has begun to utilize Merkava tanks in this approach. This time, the Israeli army conducted a ground attack with Merkava tanks and began fire, striking a building in the Hula region where Hezbollah militants were hiding. High flames grabbed attention as a result of this point being extensively damaged. A fire completely destroyed the Hezbollah building in the area. This demonstrates that Israeli units brought a large amount of military equipment into battle in both directions. Following that, Israeli artillery struck Hezbollah militants' attack positions. In this context, a missile launch site was spotted in the Al-Ma'ash-Shab region southeast. Artillery was also used to target the Hezbollah militants' positions. A precise stroke clearly destroyed the attack area. As a result, potential attacks from this direction were thwarted before they could commence. Israeli airplanes bombed previously identified Hezbollah military assets in southern Lebanon. In this regard, 35 warplanes delivered devastating hits to Hezbollah terrorist organization sites discovered in the Nakura and Kwarchuba districts. As a result, Hezbollah militants' attack and defense locations in numerous regions were severely destroyed. When the fight becomes more intense, the Israeli army is anticipated to respond with more strategic moves against the terrorist organizations Hamas and Hezbollah. Terrorist positions will be destroyed at multiple sites, and their forces will be depleted. Terrorist organizations will find it extremely difficult to even undertake an assault as a result of this. As the level of stress rises, so will the number of attacks. Terrorists from Hamas and Hezbollah will struggle to regain their losses. We'll have to wait and see what occurs in the next few days. Another video has come to an end. You may show your support by liking the video